This should be interesting.
When I saw that man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward both of them. I think I knocked away the man with the knife. Just then there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow.
This is certainly most unusual. Try impossible! The chief of detectives hadn't even designed him until this year. That would mean he didn't even exist 2 years ago. Yes, well, the defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Stop! Please! Don't pursue this any further!
Lana? What's the meaning of this? Please remain seated in the defendant's chair.
But you can't do this! I've already confessed to the crime! Why can't you just leave it at that?
Chief Prosecutor Sky. We've already come this far. It's too late to turn back. Silence! The defense will now begin its cross-examination. Bailiff, please detain the defendant. Seems we're finally getting to the core of the matter. Okay, Lana was panicking there. Okay, when I saw the man raise his knife, I panicked and rushed toward them. I knocked the knife away. That's where I saw the blue badger. He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. I think if my assumption from before is right, I think this might be what we're after. It's either that or the cloth, but let's go ahead and press everything first. When you say that man, I assume we refer to Joe Dark?
Yes, at least I think it was him.
You think?
All I could really see were shadows.
The power outage that immediately preceded the incident is also documented in the prosecutor's office reports. So then you... I panicked and rushed toward both of them. Why would you do something so dangerous?
What else could I have done? He was about to stab Mr. Marshall.
She seems convinced that Dark was the one holding the knife. But as we've just theorized, Mr. Marshall was the one holding the knife.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. When that Dark guy knocked me down, all I could think was, I've got to help that other person.
I think I knocked away the man with the knife. I mean, that does make sense because the cloth has that handprint, so that does seem to make sense that she knocked away Marshall. What do you mean you think?
It all happened so fast, and I was in shock. I don't remember everything clearly. What I did, it's all kind of a blur.
Miss Sky was almost killed before she was witness to a murder about to take place. With so much happening in a matter of seconds, a little disorientation is only natural.
I saw the man about to stab the other person who I thought was Mr. Marshall. I know I had to stop the man with the knife.
What you did was very brave, young girl. So then, what happened next? Just then, there was another flash of lightning, and that's when I saw the blue badger. Are you sure about this?
Of course! See? I even drew a picture of him here.
But it was the chief of detectives who thought up this hideous beast. And that was just this year. The blue badger didn't exist 2 years ago. This is all quite verifiable.
I know it sounds strange. I was surprised too when I saw him at the police department. I had this nagging feeling that I'd seen him somewhere before somewhere. Now I finally remember.
Oh, brother, just when you thought that thing had caused enough commotion. Tell us, where in the room did you see him dancing? He wasn't in the room, but I'm sure I saw his shadow. His shadow? So you mean you didn't actually see his face with all its winning smile and all?
That's right, but I still remember it. It had 3 creepy horns.
This is pointless. That thing couldn't have possibly existed 2 years ago. The witness must be mistaken.
That may well be. But what's important is what caused her to think she saw what she did.
Oh, and I suppose you have an explanation. If so, then by all means, please, tell us what this shadow really was.
What was it Emma saw when that lightning flashed? Who is this blue badger, really?
Alright, I think my theory is actually spot on with this.
The blue badger hadn't even been dreamt up when Emma drew this picture. Yet she's certain she saw its shadow.
Ladies and gentlemen,
it is the defense's belief that on the fateful day 2 years ago, there indeed was something that looked similar to the blue badger.
something that is now sitting in this very room.
Mr. Wright!
In this room? Very well, Mr. Wright. What is it that the witness saw in that instant? Please show us this mysterious blue badger look-alike. The jar. The jar very clearly has 3 prongs on it, and could very easily be mistaken. The mysterious blue badger was in fact this. But that's... what exactly is that?
I believe it's some sort of jar. But Mr. Wright, that doesn't look anything like the blue badger.
Indeed, it doesn't. As it stands now, it's just a plain jar. However, what if we were to change our viewpoint? Our viewpoint? I've got to show them the correct angle to look at this from. Okay, there we go. Something like that, or maybe... No, it is kind of like a triangle like this. No, it has to be facing this way. Yeah, I think I'm right with this. Blah, 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 blah. Vertically a bit more horizontally. At the very least, this doesn't penalize me, which I'm very glad. Okay, but it has to be precisely the angle. Maybe... this? Damn it! Okay. I am very glad that this is one thing that doesn't penalize me. Okay, there's gotta be some way to make it... There's gotta be some way to actively make it look exactly like the blue badger. It can't be something that just kind of resembles it like this. This kind of looks like it, but not quite. Unless it's supposed to be like the broken one is like over here. But... So what exactly is the viewpoint we're going for here? Because one has to be straight up and the others do that way. Maybe it is like this? With a broken one there? Nope. Definitely not right. What exactly is the right thing? Because I don't think it would be like something like that. It has to be kind of something where it was falling. But if it's this way, then it blocks off the blue badger, like the other thing. All 3 prongs need to be present. They need to be viewable. If it's something like this, then 2 prongs aren't viewable. Unless I'm thinking about this all wrong and this is actually what it needs to be. It's upside down. Because instead of the prong that's broken off, instead, it's the bottom of it. Nope! I mean, that was actually a pretty decent theory if I do say so myself. But that's clearly not right. Okay. Man, I thought I had something there. What if it was this? It was rotated. Actually, maybe it was too vertical. Something like this? No. Man, this is actually kind of difficult. What exactly? Hold on, maybe something like this. Why is this so hard? This feels like insanely. I feel like I'm starting to get like the right angle though. Maybe it's something like this. I mean, I don't think that's right. No. Man, what angle are they trying to get me to do? Man, this freaking blue badger is just being a constant pain. Like, I feel like the prongs match like this. But then you have the top portion. I swear, it should look something like this. But for some reason, it's not taking. I wish it would give me some sort of hint. It's like, oh wait, maybe I could try it this way instead of just very vague. Because yeah, if I do this from the other angle, then the prongs on the bottom don't really match up with the hat. Kind of do from like this. I mean, I already tried doing it exactly upside down. Tried that way. Oh, hold on. Oh, that matches it well, because then the bottom portion of it actually matches up pretty well with the face part. What? Oh, come on! How is this so freaking difficult? I honestly don't know why this is so freaking hard. I mean... Nope. Man, like, I am super glad that I would have lost probably twice now. Like, 2 times over. Yeah, that's the problem, is like, there's a very specific angle that they're looking for with this. And I'm not entirely sure I see what it is that they're trying to get me to do. Because I've tried stuff even like this. But for some reason, it's not taking hold. Man, what I figured it would be the vase. I did not think it would be this difficult to get it to just prove that, oh yeah, this is exactly what it is that she saw. I'm like, does it have to? I feel like it is specifically the 3 prongs are what I need to do. The problem is getting it at an angle where the top prong is up. Hold on, what if we... The problem is like, anytime the top part is up, the other 2 are facing down. Which isn't right. So what angle are they trying to get me to go at this from? I tried a bunch of different stuff and none of them worked. Cause yeah, I mean, looking at it like... Looking at it like this, maybe? I feel like I've tried this one, though. Because you can very clearly see the 2 ends go that way. Why is this so freaking hard? Just why? What makes this so freaking difficult? Trying to match this up with the Blue Badger one, it feels like this shouldn't be super hard, and yet it seems like it is. Like, the bottom ones match up the bottom portions, but in order to get to the top to actually face that way, they suddenly don't look like that anymore. Man, I thought I had something where, like, the bottom portion of it, like, matches up very nicely with the face. Like, I swear, this looks pretty well. And yet, Phoenix doesn't take it. There's gotta be some room for error in this, like some grace area. But for some reason, I'm not hitting it. Something like this? That looks so good! There's so many different angles that I feel like it should work, but it doesn't. What is this magic sort of angle that I need? Yeah, that matches that matches that goes straight up. This looks very good. You get like a big circle there, kind of like that. That looks so good! I don't understand why this isn't the... I'm just gonna keep trying, and I will just skip to what the actual correct angle is, because this is really bothering me. Yo, finally! I feel like I had that position a few different times. I don't know why that did. Maybe it just wasn't quite right to match like the angle that was going down from the middle portion. I don't know. All I know is that was getting frustrating and I was very close to just saying screw it and just looking up a guide. I didn't. I'm glad that I didn't. But that was also really stupid, oddly specific. Well, Is this a miracle or what? No one can possibly deny this jar's resemblance to the blue badger. No. It can't be! Order! Order! The defense has proven its claim. The mysterious blue badger witnessed on the day of the crime was actually this. Although we all enjoyed Mr. Wright's dramatic performance, one question remains. What's your point? What do you mean? So that badger thing was actually just a jar. That doesn't change anything! I'm afraid that's where you're wrong, Mr. Edgeworth. You see, this changes everything! Indeed? Very well then, please tell us. What's different now that we know the witness saw this jar? The location that the murder took place in. Allow me to take these in turn. At the moment of the murder, the witness saw this jar. At a very specific angle, I might add, Mr. Wright. Yes, well, knowing this, where could she have seen this jar? Where? The location of the jar is shown in a picture taken on the day of the crime. It's on a shelf in the office of Damon Gant. But the body was found lying near Lana Sky's desk. The witness testified so herself. Yes, and it is these two facts that reveal what actually transpired. You see, the struggle between Dark and Marshall did not take place in Lana Sky's office. It happened on the other side of the room in Chief Gant's office. Are you implying the murderer moved the victim's body from Damon Gant's office to Lana Sky's office? Yes. Why would he do that? There's no reason. Exactly. Ugh. If there wasn't a reason, he wouldn't have gone through the trouble. The only logical conclusion is that there was a reason. Do you know what that reason was, Mr. Wright? I finally figured it out. So this is why Lana tried to stop the trial. It's too late to quit now, though. Please recall the witness's testimony. She said she knocked away the man who was holding up the knife. In the next instant, the jar was hit and flew through the air. Now tell me, what could have sent the jar flying? That would have to have been the impact the man made when he was knocked into the wall? Ladies and gentlemen, if I may draw your attention to this picture once more. If the man was knocked in the direction of the shelf the jar was sitting on, what would he have hit? The suit of armor! Holding a very sharp and dangerous looking sword. Yes. And since the man who was knocked into the armor was carrying a broken knife, he would have had to have been Neil Marshall, wielding the King of Prosecutors trophy. No. Mr. Wright, you can't be thinking! Yes. There is another possibility of what actually transpired in that room. Another possibility? Of course, the perpetrator would have had no idea. But nevertheless, I don't know if I can go through with this. Mr. Wright, what's the matter? If events took place as the defense theorizes, then the outcome is obvious. In that moment, assuming the man Emma Sky knocked away was actually Prosecutor Neil Marshall,
You mean Mr. Marshall died because of me? No!
I never imagined her testimony would lead to this. So it was the witness who took the victim's life, and then proved so with her own testimony. This is unprecedented.
What? What are you saying?
I'm sorry, Miss Sky, but given the circumstances...
Joe Dark murdered Prosecutor Marshall! How can you think it was Emma? How dare you try to pin the crime on her?
Imagine that coming from you. If you recall, it was you who admitted to forging evidence 2 years ago. The reason you moved Prosecutor Marshall's body was to keep anyone else from finding out about what Emma did, wasn't it?
I assure you, Mr. Edgeworth, I have no idea what you're talking about. If you hope to have anyone believe your insane allegations, I'm afraid you're going to have proof. Tell me, do you have any conclusive evidence that proves my sister killed Neil Marshall?
Evidence?
I'm willing to bet you don't.
Yes. It certainly would be difficult to prove this with evidence. If we don't have evidence, then we'll have to rely on testimony.
I'm afraid that won't work in this case. Both parties involved in the incident are dead.
We certainly can't get dead people to testify. This has all been a wild goose chase from the beginning. Touché, Miss Sky. Of course. That only leaves us with one possibility. You mean there's still another possibility? What do you mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
I mean the possibility that the victim has left us a message.
For better or for worse, Mr. Marshall did not die instantly. He may have left behind the name of the person who took his life, in one manner or another.
That's impossible!
Well, Mr. Wright, this is the only possibility left to you. A message from the deceased. Does such a message exist? I've got to think back to the court record. The real murderer's name that the victim may have left behind... I mean, it's gotta be the jar, right? Dark red stains must be blood traces from the incident 2 years ago. Only a fragment found in Chief Gant's office still have lines remaining on it. I mean, that's the only reason I can think of. Jar has no bottom, so the hole goes right through. Some kind of weird telescope. I mean... that's the only thing I could maybe think of. It explains why Gant was trying to stop it. Like, why he had that piece. I don't think it would be the piece of cloth, though, because at the very least, the piece of cloth proves that Emma was the one that pushed Neil. That proves that. But the only thing that would have been left behind would have been the jar. guess it's in the evidence. This message from the deceased is already in our possession. Mr. Wright! Will you stop at nothing to prove my sister a murderer? Do not be mistaken, Miss Sky. Our purpose is not to accuse Emma of any crime. There is only one thing we seek: the truth. No matter how painful it may be. Now then, Mr. Wright, please show us the piece of evidence that conveys a message from the deceased. Okay, so we're having to go with Marshall. I'm actually kind of wondering with the switchblade. Nope, nothing I can actually examine on it. I swear, it's like looks like there are prints there, but I can't actually examine it. I mean, it's gotta be the vase, right? That's from an unrelated incident. These are all things not having to do with what happened before. It's gotta be the jar. The line piece on the jar. This is the message left by the deceased. This is that blue badger from before, right? Oh, is he going to just speak the killer's name? If that thing could, I'm sure it would. Looks like everyone's forgotten this is just a jar. A message was left here on the surface of this jar. What do you mean? If you look closely, you can see a faint trail of blood on this jar. It looks like someone wiped the blood away. Yes, but notice. For some reason, the blood of some of the fragments was not wiped away. Yes, there's a line here drawn in blood. So what you're saying is these dots were once lines. Prosecutor Marshall did not die instantly. He used the few precious moments left to him to leave behind a message. One that someone apparently wiped away. But blood must have seeped into the jar where the lines changed directions. Precisely so. All we need to do is connect these points, and the victim's message will become apparent. No. Mr. Wright, what kind of message did the victim leave for us? Your Honor, I believe these bloodstains will reveal to us the answer. I've got to connect these dots to make letters. Okay, before we do anything, I'm gonna quick save before the game prevents me from doing so. Okay, quick save made. Just in case there becomes like, oh, you needed to do this sort of thing. Point taken away. There's only one thing the victim would have written, given the circumstances. His murderer's name. Okay. I can't actually connect that. I can do that. Huh. I don't think it's actually Gant. Is it just Emma? It is Emma. I honestly thought that it would be the twist that, oh no, it's actually Gant and everything is just hunky-dory, but no, it actually just straight up says Emma. It's a defense attorney's duty to prove their client's innocence. That's why all I've been thinking about is saving Lana. After all my efforts, I never thought it would turn out like this. Emma. So this is the final message Prosecutor Marshall left behind. Of all people, she may not have meant it, but in the end, the one who took the victim's life was Emma Skye. Seaworthy, can't say I didn't warn you. Chief Gant! Do you understand the implications of what you've done? What? What are you talking about? 2 years ago, Joe Dark was sentenced to death. He was convicted because of his final murder. I believe you were the prosecutor in the case, were you not? Ugh! Yes, Worthy. Because of you, an innocent man was sentenced to death. Not only that, but you used forged evidence to ensure his conviction. But Joe Dark really was a serial murderer! That's undeniable! I'm afraid that's not important. Didn't you know? We aren't defenders of justice. What?! We're merely keepers of the law. Sentencing a man to death is no light matter. Even if there wasn't any cover-up or evidence forgery, ultimately the responsibility falls on the prosecutor in charge. Despite what anyone may say, this fact cannot be denied. What's going on at the prosecutor's office?
They might have sent an innocent man to his death.
How can he just stand there like it wasn't his fault? Order! 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 The gavel's pounding fell on deaf ears. Unable to settle the crowd, the judge declared a recess. Where this trial is headed, no one knows. Damn, I honestly thought that, like, the connect the lines portion would have actually just spelled Gant. And then Lana would be like, wait a minute, you mean it wasn't Emma? That's where I thought this was going, but no, it just straight up says Emma. I honestly thought it would be Gant. I mean, the question still remains is, like, why Gant has this huge cover. I mean, I guess the logical thing would be that Lana persuaded Gant to do so? I don't know, I still don't buy it. Like, I can see, like, the train of thought that, like, they see that it's kind of shattered. Well, wait a minute. It was initially... Dude! I think I just put together something. Just going through that with the vase. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I think I just pieced together. Oh boy. The vase is fake. At the very least, the bloodstains are. Oh my gosh. They're totally fake. Wow, because I was just thinking, like, I honestly thought that it would just be like, oh, he made Gant, and like, oh, actually, no, it's Emma. But the thought occurred to me, it would have been shattered already. And all the pieces lined up with so many different parts. All the pieces would have just been scattered. The face is a freaking fake! Wow, okay. I certainly hope I'm right in that. Because that still puts Gant on the line. He really is trying to frame Emma with all this. Wow. Okay, well, I've got something excited to try to prove next time. Oh, this is gonna be great. I am on the edge of my seat. So, next time on Let's Play Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, we're gonna head on over to the second part of the trial. This is the final trial portion of the game. I don't think there's gonna be a third part in this. So, all we need to do is try to find the truth of the matter and find out what exactly happened with SL9 and tie it back to the death of Detective Goodman. So, until next time, everyone, take care.